everyone, thank you so much for joining me today. I am going to share with you my latest accordion travel journal that I've put together from my recent trip to Europe on a Scribblers Cruise. So this Scribblers Cruise was with a bunch of ladies from all over the world. You can see them here. And oh my gosh, guys, we had so much fun. So imagine just traveling together, visiting stationery stores together, journaling together, and like just having so much joy with each other's company. And it was truly a trip of a lifetime. So before I begin, I would just like to put a disclaimer out there that I did not injure my finger. This is indelible ink because today is Malaysia's election day and I went to vote. And this is just to ensure that the people who went to vote won't be able to vote more than once. So in case you are wondering if I injured myself, no, I didn't. Alright, so before I show you a page-by-page flip through of my travel accordion, I'm going to share with you a little backstory of how this journal accordion came about. So usually, I love journaling on this kind of journals that you would have seen on my Instagram. This is what I would call embellished pages, and if you don't know this brand, this is BomoArt Budapest, and it's part of a collaboration that I did with them. In fact, it even has my logo here. It gives you a short backstory of how this journal came about. It's called a scrapbook journal. It's special edition, meaning at any given point it might not be available anymore. So if you love journal scrapbooking and you're looking for a book to start your journaling on that can take all sorts of mediums and inks, then look no further. Honestly, this is one of my favorite, and it will come with this little leaflet and you learn a bit more about it. So everything from the quality of paper, the GSM, the fact that it's slightly off-white, it's not stark white. All these little details alongside with their amazing craftsmanship, the leather and the designs that you can customize. I mean, I'm really proud of this collaboration. In fact, I would say this is my proudest collaboration, my most favorite. I mean, this is like, I have so many of the journals and I use them on a daily basis. So this is what I normally journal with. And even sometimes when I travel, I just do pages by pages, like as and when I feel like it. But what makes this special is that this entire travel accordion is dedicated to my trip. I would like to share the backstory of this travel bingo game that was given to all the attendees that came for the Scribblers Cruise, which I co-hosted. And these are all the challenges that the attendees were tasked with. I mean, it's not mandatory participation, but I'm happy to say that everyone gave it a go, and some of them even managed to finish up all the challenges in all the different boxes, and everyone won something from the sponsors, like Gallon Leather. Gallon Leather, they have the best like leather stuff out there. Lin Channing, oh my gosh, her wax seals and stickers, amazing. Letras Literarias, sorry, I can't pronounce it properly, but they are from Mexico. I'm sure you've heard of Adrian too. He's such a talented guy. He designs his stuff and he's like a calligrapher. So these are three of the brands that I love personally, and I'm so happy that they actually sponsored very generous gifts to all the attendees. And I'm just going to read some of the challenges out. So like, for example, collecting tree coasters or napkins, autographs, local Wi-Fi's, money, postal stamp, travel brochures, luggage tags, wrappers. So these are very easy to find items if you seek them out. So sometimes, like, you know, when you have a travel journal, you don't know what you want to put in it. So this is more like a guide. By no means do you have to do everything. I just wanted to share it with you in case you might want to consider this as an activity for yourself for your next trip. So I'm just going to hold it here. You can take a snapshot or a screenshot, or if you want something clearer, please don't hesitate to reach out to me on Instagram and I will send you a snapshot. So, having said that, now let me go through page by page, starting with the front cover. Alright, so in front here you see my logo. So this is a charm that was gifted to me by Lisa, who came on the cruise, and I attached it during the cruise because I just wanted to fill it up with things that will remind me of people, moments, experiences. So I thought the charm was really nice because we're going on a cruise and this is like a nautical compass kind of thing, and I love it. It goes so nicely with everything. This is from a Tim Holtz Halloween die cut pack. I put in October because it was in the month of October that the cruise took place. And this travel accordion is no longer available, unfortunately, but there are so many other alternatives out there if you Google accordion sketchbook. This accordion is filled with, or is made of watercolor paper, so you can see the texture. But let's not jump ahead. I still have to go through the cover and back first. So this is from a gift that Lisa gave me, and it had like this beautiful ribbon from Betty Soldi, also a freehand calligraphy person that we all admire and follow closely on Instagram. So I'm so happy to be able to kind of stick this on my journal cover, kind of as a reminder of the gift that was wrapped in this beautiful ribbon. Okay, so let's start with the front pages. So when it opens up like this, and then it continues as well here. It goes all the way. You can see it's really long. It's really long, and this is just the front. There's also the back. So I'm going to go as slowly as possible so that I do not overwhelm you. So when I open it, it opens up this way in this sequence, and you can see here I have my boarding pass. I have this little sticker tag for my luggage, for my boarding pass again. Here I printed out an image of Budapest, and I also made my own sticker. So I brought two printers with me, and I'll show you what printers I used. So these are the two printers that I brought with me. Xiaomi is a zinc photo printer. That means it uses the zinc paper. It has no ink cartridge inside. So this is compact, it's affordable. When I look at portable printers, I look at the cost, not of the device, but of the refills, because sometimes the refills can be very expensive and I don't want to be precious about, you know, buying refills. So this, I would say, is very economical. I forgot how much the refills are, but yeah, it's just one of the cheapest options out there with like really decent quality, such as this, and pretty much all the credit card size stickers that is peppered throughout this entire journal. I'm just gonna hold it down with a paperweight. Okay, so another printer that I brought is my Phomemo printer. Phomemo printer is a thermal printer, so you can refill it with an array of refillable stickers or papers, and this is the transparent sticker paper, which is my absolute favorite, and I used it quite a few times throughout these pages. I will show you a few examples as we go along, but the first example here you can see is this. The word Budapest is actually printed on the Phomemo sticker paper, and I overlaid it on this image. I edited it on my phone and then I printed it out, overlaid. It's so easy, guys, super straightforward. So here you can see like a flip up that I made. I did like a front and back sticker. So this Xiaomi sticker paper has a back adhesive, and what I did was just stuck one over the other at the back and it becomes like front and back. And then this is a PET tape, so is this. And one of the first things that I did, so imagine when I traveled with this accordion, it was completely blank. And one of the first things I did before I started sticking anything in is distress the edges. So you can see it's even where it folds is distressed. I just wanted to give it a kind of vintage look. And it was a lot of distressing throughout the entire accordion before I even began. And then when I started from these few pages onwards, what I did was put down some rubber stamps, kind of just to break it up a bit, and put some design elements like this rubber stamp here of a semicircle. And then I overlaid an entire PET tape of a landscape. So PET tapes are typically transparent stickers. So here we have the PET tape, and another thing I want to kind of emphasize with the Phomemo thermal printer is that it prints in black and white only. Okay, there's no color printing in it at all, which is fine by me because I love like the transparent effect of black and white or black and clear images and fonts, which I will show you more in a bit. So this is like a brad that I stuck into the page. I made a hole because I wanted to use this tag that was also gifted to me. And if I show you the back, what I did was like dual purpose. So what I did here is to attach something else onto the back so that it's not an awkward like metal thing kind of sticking out for no reason. So I try to make pages like correlate somehow. And we have more images here. I love using pictures in my journals. I like to make it very visual. And here's where I attach, wait, I need to use something to point. All right, let's use this dip pen as a pointer. All right, so this is another PET tape, and what I did here was stuck a leaf that I found in Budapest underneath it to kind of seal it, give it like a window to see through the specimen. Here is a feather, and when I travel with two types of glue. Tombow glue is really good. This is like a very sticky white glue that can hold objects like this, like feather, like leaves, you know, because it's just a lot stickier than most glue, and it dries fast and it dries clear. So this is perfect. Another glue that I love traveling with is glue tape, and they're a lot more compact as well. And what I like about it is that if you glue outside the line of what you want to paste, that means there's residue like let's say sticking out on the side, you can actually rub it because it's dry. Glue tapes are dry, so when you rub it, it kind of balls up the residue into like a little ball, and you can just like brush it off and you're good. It's not like the liquid glues, like the glue sticks that will like become sticky, discolor the paper, seep through the paper, and then affect like when you write with your fountain pen, ink, and things like that. So these are the two glues that I would recommend. I'm not sure if I already mentioned, but the Xiaomi Zinc paper is actually a sticker paper that you can stick directly, like peel off the back and stick directly onto the pages, or you know, stick onto another one so it's front and back. I love PET tape, so I use a lot of them because I love that it's transparent and I can stick things underneath it, like a petal of flower or feather, you know, and instantly it becomes like a little specimen window frame. So one of the highlights of the trip was visiting the store and meeting the owner of BomoArt. I want to remember things like that, you know, like all the highlights. And you see a lot of BomoArt elements throughout. Like here, oh, we almost missed the page. Wait, I think we jumped ahead. Let me close that up. Okay, so this is the end of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The first 5 page, and now I'm going to go to the back. Oh, it's a long. Okay, so here you can see I have like a frame, and here is a cutout of Avalon waterways. I think this was from their pack. Cut it out, put it in, and this is a rubber stamp actually that I brought with me on the trip. So before packing for the trip, I always kind of consider what are the elements, what is the theme that I want in my travel journal. I know that it's a cruise, so I want nautical themes. I brought this, for example, which is the washi tape of a nautical rope, knotted rope. And for example, the words Bon Voyage is also a stamp that I brought along with me. I brought all the PET tapes like this because I knew I wanted to create like some splatter, like a rustic look. And I knew I was going to go cycling, so I brought a rubber stamp of a bicycle. So these are things that I would consider when I'm packing. Curating certain pieces that would go together, curating a theme or several themes, picking colors from the ephemera that I bring. So I typically love like earthy tones, so it was quite easy for me to kind of curate those pieces. And like for example, like this die cut as well, I couldn't bring my die cut machine. Of course, it's super heavy, so I have pre-made die cuts that I brought along with me to stick down. And you know, because frames are probably one of the most used elements inside any of my journals. I love embellishing images with frames. And speaking of images, washi tapes are really great to kind of create this kind of flip book, you know, like on both sides you instantly create like a flip. So I brought like 5 pieces of washi rolls. And speaking of stickers, so this is a very good example of how the Phomemo transparent sticker looks as an image. So this picture was taken of me when I was at BomoArt with a stack of journals, and you can see how it overlays so beautifully with this cruise ship, because it's black and white, and it kind of almost blends together. But yeah, the Phomemo sticker printer is probably one of the most underrated printers out there. If you haven't yet heard of them, I highly recommend it. It's also quite cheap to buy the refills, and they last for a long time. So yeah, elements like this, I like to create like some rubber stamps element before I start layering things over it. So like I said, the first step is distressing, then stamping, and then you can start sticking things over and then playing with the layering. Now here is the bread that I told you about. This is the back of the bread. So I used it as kind of like a holder for this specimen card. And this was gifted to me, I believe, by Suzette Pretty Pages. So I wanted to incorporate this into my journal. And then behind it is another frame. And this is an image printout from the Xiaomi printer. So the annoying thing with PET tape sometimes, depending also on the paper, this is a watercolor paper, so it's texturized. Sometimes it doesn't stick properly, but no worries. So what I can do is actually apply some glue tape on the back to make sure it stays down. Okay. There's more washi tape here. I love interactive elements like this, you know, that invites you to play, to discover, to kind of flip, to turn, to touch, you know, texture and everything. It's really fun to create a journal that is three-dimensional. Right, so here again, I use a PET tape to frame an image that I took. So the common theme in this page is the bicycle. You see here, and I overlaid an image of me cycling with Myra and Lisa that day. And now we're on to this. So this is actually a tarot card, and I love this because the idea came to me when I saw the bear, and then there's like trees and plants, and what I did was I cut out certain parts of the tarot card and I glued the top and the bottom. I added hardware here to create like a frame, and then I used it as a pocket for a business card that I collected in Dernstein. And look at that, it almost becomes interactive with the image. So yeah, I really like this. This tarot card was gifted by Vint Jern, Karina from Australia. So this is really nice. One of my favorite elements, I would say, is how the tarot card turned out, because I knew I wanted to use it somehow. I wasn't sure, and then the idea came out of nowhere, and there you go. So here is another beautiful feather that I found when I was walking along, and I stuck it on top of this cabin card kind of thing. So this is the cabin card for the cruise. The card goes in here, and what I did was I turned the what do you call that, the holder into like an envelope, and I stuck an image of myself in the room here. This is the room number. I'll always remember that, 307. I have the Wi-Fi passcode here, and this was gifted by Carla at Carlita is Probably Reading, and she gave us this little card thing with definition of a traveler, definition of a trip, which is perfect, right? And I stuck it together and then created this little card and a pull-out with a little tag that I attached to it. This I cut out from a catalog. I really like the bird, so I put the bird up here. It looks like it's flying downwards. And then here is a design element that I cut out from BomoArt's design paper. They have loads of design papers, and all of their images are hand painted and drawn by an artist, which is amazing. Like, if you see their stuff, it's just mind-blowing that all of their images are hand-drawn. And this, what I did was I connected a brad through a paper clip. So it looks like a brass clip, but it's actually paper. And it's front and back. So what I did was I just glued this image in between. This was gifted by Marian, Paperabilia, and I really love the image of Dürnstein, which is the place that I visited as well, and Vienna. More images here that I printed out and I framed it with this PET tape. And more PET tape here, the splatter, to kind of just give it continuation, because it's like here, it just goes on, and I want it to feel cohesive, like a flow, you know, so that all the different pages, no matter how different they look, kind of feels like they're part of the same book. So I have another interactive element here, which is just this thing, this paper tag that goes around. And this is one of my favorite days, actually, was spent journaling in Dürnstein by a vineyard. So the backdrop here, this is actually an optical illusion. The backdrop is from a catalog, and this is the Danube River. And I took a picture of us journaling, so I cut out that image using the Xiaomi printer. I stuck it in here so you can see the silhouette, and I incorporated the catalog into the background so that it looks like we're actually journaling amongst, you know, all that greenery and the Danube River. But in actual fact, the vineyard itself that we were journaling in was even more beautiful. And yeah, I just wanted to incorporate the catalog into it, and I wanted to show more of the ambience of the entirety of a place rather than just the vineyard. So that's why I did that. I really like how it turned out, and it's behind the business card of the place that we were at as well, so it has so much meaning. And this was also taken from their menu, so I cut out this part in the menu. And the menu, don't worry, it's not super fancy, it's just a piece of paper, so I just took a copy with me. This is a flower, the dry flower on the table at the Vineyard Cafe that we were at. So I stuck on like this transparent sticker. I don't know how you would call it, but it's quite thick. And I just pressed it down here so it looks like it's pressed flowers. And here what I have is a leaf from the vineyard. And instead of sticking the entire leaf down like this, right in the middle where it takes a lot of real estate, what I decided to do was cut the bottom off and play around with the placement. So the bottom is actually at the top, and then the top is actually at the bottom. So it kind of almost looks like two different leaves, but it's actually one. And you can see here I actually put on some rub-on transfer, and then I stamped. And this is more ephemera pieces from BomoArt's design papers that was gifted by Carolee, the owner. And I just love how my wax seal kind of fits into that map. So I stuck it on, and there's just so much texture even in this one page. Okay, we're almost there, guys. Bear with me. This is the last few pages. This is a sticker paper of architecture, because I know that Vienna is rich in a lot of architecture and sculptures and stuff, so I decided to bring this to pillars to kind of frame a page. And this is also from my Phomemo sticker machine, so you can see how clear that image is, and I fussy cut around, so there's more space for me to write around. Here we have a very typical Austrian look, I would say. I got it from a local newspaper. I believe it was in Milk, and I just love how the kids were playing with the flutes. And and the guys were just there, and I think it was part of like a festival or something. And I brought my Roman numeral rubber stamp, so I was just like stamping here. Here we have even more elements from BomoArt design paper. I overlaid it with PET tape. And if you are wondering what I write in these pages, it's basically journal prompts that was gifted by Melissa. Basically, I'm not one of those journalists who log in every day what I eat, where I go, what I see, because I sometimes find details like that a bit too mundane. For example, like here is actually a quote that came with the journal prompts by John O'Donoghue, and then there's the first journal prompt: as you arrive in this new landscape, how are you feeling in your body, your mind, and spirit? And then I would like spend maybe like 2.5 pages just thinking about that question and how, you know, I mean, I articulate it through my writing. Sometimes it can just be keywords even, so that I can save some space. And I just like to fill the pages out with a lot of visual memory triggers instead of just writing about it. So yeah, that's what is scribbled on these pages, just in case you were wondering. And where was I? Here. All right. So here are more of the journal prompts, and then this is Dana, Lisa's husband, who was carrying my bag. And I just really like that image of him. And I love how the two kids here, which is a cutout from BomoArt's design paper, it looks like the two little guys are with him, and they're just looking at a distance. You know, create some mystery, like what are they looking at? And then when you look at that direction, it's actually there's a ship here. So I like how the different pages are playing with one another. It doesn't have to be just like, you know, bam, bam, bam. Sometimes it's like when you look at its entirety, and then you can see how can I link certain pages together. So maybe using very similar elements, like here I use the P tip here, 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 here. This map is actually part of this map that I cut out here. So there is some fluidity, there is some consistency, flow, and that's also one of the reasons why I love using accordion journals for a trip, like to document a particular experience, because it almost feels like it's telling a story page to page. It's another BomoArt design paper. So a lot of the ones that I used here, the design papers are discontinued, unfortunately, but also fortunately for me. So I'm so thrilled to be able to use it in my travel journal and share it with the rest of the beautiful ladies that came on the trip with me. Which, did I show you a close-up of them? Oh my gosh, look, this is us. So this is a close-up. It's me, Carolee, Karina, Carmen, Myra, Carla, Nani, Petra, Suzette, Melissa, the lady who gave me the journal prompts, and Lisa and Marian. So these are really, this is an amazing bunch of ladies from America, from someone from Vienna, Austria, and Australia, and of course me, Malaysia. So many of us. It's just an amazing experience to travel with them, get to know everyone in person, because some of them I've met on Sunday Scribbles, which is this weekly Sunday. Well, it used to be weekly during the pandemic, but we bonded over the pandemic, and oh my gosh, some of them I've been talking to online for like 2 years, so it was so surreal to finally meet them in person. I can't wait to meet them again and hopefully meet more people as I journey along. Alright, so here is another Phomemo sticker cutout of myself. I believe I was walking across the bridge to BomoArt, and I just love the layering, and you can see how the sticker is transparent and how it plays with, you know, the tag behind. There's just so many possibilities with this transparent sticker. And this is a hot air balloon card or tag that Nani gifted me, and I wanted it to be part of the journal, so I again put another brad through. That's it, guys. I think this is the last page. I've been talking so much. I really hope that you enjoyed this little flip through. The next time you go on a trip, maybe you might want to consider dedicating an entire little notebook to it, because it's small, it's compact, it's not too big. Sometimes I find pages like that very daunting. It's like, oh my gosh, there's so much things to fill. I didn't collect enough things to stick in, or I don't have enough things that I want to write to fill up an entire page. Whereas this is like, you don't feel so overwhelmed because the pages are relatively small and easy to decorate. And like I said just now, it's also the flow of it. It's like how you can play the pages. I can say decide to come back to an earlier page if I don't have the inspiration yet, and I said, oh, I have something to write about milk, and milk is a few days later, so maybe here I'll just start working on milk and I'll revisit it. So it becomes like this timeline almost, if you want it to be, that you can revisit, you can add on. Yeah, there's no rules at all, just my own process. So yes, that's it, guys, and I really hope that you're inspired now to take on your own travel journal. And if you have any questions, please feel free to type in the comment below.